Welcome back with another exciting video. Enjoy watching and don't forget to like and leave a comment.
Before you listen to this story, ask yourself one question. What would you do if an old abandoned house existed in your town? A house where every person who entered alone either disappeared, came back terrified, or never spoke about what they saw again? What if local police investigated it for decades? Historians documented strange events connected to it, and hundreds of residents believed something inside the building was waiting for people to enter. Tonight's story takes us deep into the United States, where an ancient mansion hidden among dense woods became the center of one of the most chilling mysteries ever recorded. A mystery involving disappearances, unexplained sounds, forgotten history, and a terrifying discovery that shocked an entire community. This is the story of the house that people called the Silent Manor. In the northeastern United States, surrounded by thick forests and miles of empty land, stood an enormous Victorian mansion built during the late 1800s. The property originally belonged to Richard Holloway, who had earned a fortune from railroads and timber operations. Historical records showed that Holloway commissioned the mansion in 1887. It was considered one of the most beautiful private residences in the region. The house featured more than 30 rooms, hidden passageways, handcrafted wooden staircases, and a massive basement extending beneath nearly the entire structure. For several years, the Holloway family lived there peacefully. Neighbors described the family as respectable and successful. But everything changed during the winter of 1894. According to newspaper archives from the period, one of Holloway's daughters disappeared without explanation. She was last seen inside the mansion shortly before a heavy snowstorm. Search teams combed the surrounding forests, nearby rivers, and neighboring towns. No trace of her was ever found. The family never recovered from the tragedy. Over the following years, strange incidents continued to occur. Servants suddenly resigned. Visitors reported hearing footsteps in empty hallways. Several workers claimed they heard voices coming from rooms that had been locked for years. By 1902, the mansion had developed a frightening reputation. Then something even stranger happened. Richard Holloway himself vanished. One evening, he was reportedly working in his private study. The next morning, his chair was found pushed away from the desk, papers scattered across the floor, and a lantern still burning, yet Holloway was nowhere to be found. Authorities investigated for months. Nothing. No evidence of a crime, no signs of travel, no body, no explanation. After his disappearance, surviving family members abandoned the property. For decades, the mansion remained empty. Nature slowly reclaimed the land around it. Trees grew over old pathways. Ivy covered the walls. Broken windows stared out from the darkness like empty eyes. Local legends began spreading from generation to generation. People claimed lights appeared in the upper floors despite the lack of electricity. Hunters reported hearing distant screams coming from inside the building. Teenagers who dared enter often left frightened and refused to discuss what happened. Most people dismissed these stories as folklore, until the disappearances started again. In 1957, according to local reports, 2 college students decided to explore the abandoned property during summer vacation. Friends saw them enter the house shortly after sunset. Neither returned home. A large search operation followed. Investigators discovered their vehicle parked near the entrance. Flashlights and personal belongings were found inside. The students themselves were never located. The case received regional attention, but eventually went cold. Years later, another unexplained event deepened the mystery. In 1973, a documentary photographer named Michael Turner traveled across America photographing abandoned locations. He became fascinated with the mansion and planned to spend an entire weekend documenting the property. Before entering, he reportedly told several locals that he intended to prove the ghost stories were nonsense. His camera equipment was later discovered in an upstairs bedroom. The film inside contained dozens of photographs. Most showed ordinary rooms covered in dust, but the final image was different. The last photograph revealed a dark hallway. At the far end appeared what looked like a human figure standing motionless near a doorway. Investigators could never identify the person. Turner was never seen again. The mysterious photograph became one of the most discussed pieces of evidence connected to the mansion. As decades passed, stories continued accumulating. Some witnesses claimed they heard children laughing in empty rooms. Others reported seeing shadows moving behind windows. Several visitors described an overwhelming feeling that someone was watching them. Psychologists suggested isolation, fear, and expectation might explain many experiences. Yet even skeptics admitted the number of strange reports was unusually high. During the 1980s, a team of amateur historians gained temporary access to the property. Their goal was to document the building before it collapsed from age and neglect. What they discovered surprised everyone. Hidden behind a wooden panel in the basement, they found a narrow passageway leading deeper underground. The tunnel appeared to be intentionally concealed. Inside were old journals, personal letters, and construction documents dating back to the mansion's earliest years. The writings revealed information that had never been publicly known. According to the journals, workers involved in constructing the mansion frequently complained about strange sounds beneath the property. Several laborers allegedly quit after reporting unexplained voices echoing from underground chambers. One journal entry described repeated knocking sounds coming from behind unfinished walls. Another mentioned tools disappearing and reappearing in different locations. Although many historians believe these accounts reflected superstition common during the 19th century, they added another layer to the mystery. The tunnel extended farther than expected. Near the end, researchers discovered a large underground chamber. The room contained old furniture, rusted lanterns, and evidence suggesting it had once been occupied. No official records mentioned its existence. Questions immediately arose. Who built it? Why was it hidden? And who had used it? The discovery attracted national attention. Paranormal investigators arrived from across the country. Television crews documented the site. Researchers analyzed historical documents. Despite extensive study, no definitive answers emerged. Then came one of the most disturbing incidents ever associated with the mansion. In 1991, a group of 4 explorers entered the property carrying cameras and communication equipment. Their plan was to spend the night inside. Everything appeared normal during the first few hours. Recorded footage showed the group laughing, exploring rooms, and discussing local legends. Shortly after midnight, however, the tone changed dramatically. The explorers began reporting unexplained noises. Footsteps echoed through empty hallways. Doors appeared to close on their own. One member claimed he saw someone standing on a staircase. The cameras continued recording. At approximately 2:17 a.m., a loud crashing sound echoed through the building. The footage became chaotic. Voices shouted, flashlights moved wildly. The recording ended abruptly. When authorities reviewed the material later, they found several minutes missing. One explorer was never found. The remaining 3 left the property visibly shaken. None provided a clear explanation for what happened. Over time, countless theories emerged. Some believed secret tunnels connected the mansion to other locations. Others suspected criminal activity during earlier decades. A few historians suggested the disappearances might be unrelated events linked together by local folklore. Paranormal enthusiasts argued the house was genuinely haunted. No theory fully explained every incident. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect was the consistency of witness accounts. People from different backgrounds, different generations, and different decades often described similar experiences. Feelings of being watched, footsteps in empty rooms, voices where no one should be present, shadows moving through hallways, and an overwhelming urge to leave. In the early 2000s, structural engineers declared the mansion unsafe. Most access points were sealed, security fencing was installed, warning signs surrounded the property. Yet reports continued. Local residents occasionally claimed they saw lights flickering inside at night. Security patrols sometimes discovered evidence that someone had entered despite the restrictions. No intruders were ever identified. Even today, the mansion remains one of the region's most controversial landmarks. Some researchers consider it a fascinating historical mystery. Others view it as a collection of exaggerated legends. Many locals simply avoid discussing it altogether. What makes this story particularly powerful is not whether ghosts exist, it is the lesson hidden within the mystery. Human curiosity is one of our greatest strengths. Curiosity drives exploration, discovery, science, and progress. But history repeatedly reminds us that curiosity without caution can lead people into dangerous situations. Many individuals connected to the mansion entered believing they could easily explain everything. Some never returned. Others left deeply affected, and many questions remain unanswered. The Silent Manor stands as a reminder that not every mystery has a clear solution. Some places preserve secrets for generations. Some stories survive because no one ever finds the final piece of the puzzle. Whether the events surrounding the mansion were caused by hidden human activity, psychological effects, tragic coincidences, or something beyond current understanding, one fact remains undeniable. For more than a century, people have continued telling the story. They continue investigating, they continue searching for answers, and they continue wondering what truly happened inside the ancient house hidden among the trees. Because somewhere in the darkness of forgotten hallways and sealed underground chambers, the truth may still be waiting. And perhaps that truth is even more frightening than the legends themselves.